The Minnesota Timberwolves will travel on the road to face off against the Orlando Magic in Florida on Friday for a tip-off time of 7 p.m. Eastern. This game will be available on NBA League Pass. Orlando comes into this game with a record on the season of 17-50, and have lost 3 out of their last 5 games, coming against Indiana in overtime, Memphis, and to Phoenix by the score of 102-99. The only 2 victories for Orlando in their last 5 games both came on the road against Toronto and New Orleans by the score of 108-102. Minnesota comes into this game with a record on the season of 38-29 and have won their last 5 consecutive games with notable victories against Portland, Oklahoma City, and against the Golden State Warriors at home by the score of 129-114. Orlando is far out of the playoff race in the Eastern Conference, while Minnesota is squarely in the mix. Minnesota will be without Patrick Beverley and Jared Vanderbilt in this contest. However, we do see Minnesota coming away with a victory on the road in Florida on the heels of a big game from Karl Anthony Towns. Take Minnesota Timberwolves -7. The Detroit Pistons are on the road Friday with a visit to TD Garden to play the Boston Celtics. Detroit is last in the Central Division at 18-48 and 23.5 games behind the first-place Milwaukee Bucks. Detroit was defeated by the Chicago Bulls 114-108 on Wednesday. The leading scorer for Detroit was Cade Cunningham with 22 points, but the next highest scorer had just 12 points for the Pistons. Boston looks for its 5th straight victory when hosting Detroit on Friday. The Celtics are second in the Atlantic Division at 40-27 and 1.5 games behind the first-place Philadelphia 76ers. Boston defeated the Charlotte Hornets 115-101 on Wednesday. Jason Tatum was the leading scorer for Boston with 44 points, and the Celtics defense held Charlotte to 42.9% shooting and forced the Hornets to turn the ball over 16 times. Boston will win its 5th straight on Friday at home against Detroit, but the Pistons will play well enough to cover the number. Detroit has covered the spread in 8 of its last 9 overall and in each of the last 7 head-to-head against Boston. Boston has struggled when playing against an opponent from the Central Division, failing to cover each of the last 5. Expect a low-scoring defensive struggle, with the Pistons covering in the end. Take Detroit Pistons +14. The Los Angeles Clippers look for a 2nd straight victory on Friday when visiting the Atlanta Hawks. LA is 3rd in the Pacific Division at 35-33 and 19 games behind the first-place Phoenix Suns. The Clippers defeated the Washington Wizards 115-109 on Wednesday. LA trailed by 5 points late in the 4th quarter but ended the game with an 11-0 run. Reggie Jackson was the leading scorer for the Clippers with 31 points. Atlanta looks to snap a 2-game losing streak when hosting the LA Clippers on Friday. Atlanta is tied with Charlotte for 2nd in the Southeast Division at 31-24 and 12 games behind the first-place Miami Heat. The Hawks were defeated by the Milwaukee Bucks 124-115 on Wednesday. Trae Young was the leading scorer for Atlanta with 27 points, but the Hawks were out-rebounded 50-44 by the Bucks. The LA Clippers are playing without their leading scorer Paul George but have covered the number in 8 out of their last 11 overall. The Clippers' defense is holding opponents to an average of 107.6 points per game and 44.7% shooting. Atlanta has failed to cover the number in 4 out of the last 5. The Hawks are allowing an average of 111.9 points per game, which is 21st in the NBA. Take LA Clippers +6.